Hey YouTube, it's Darlene. Hope you're doing well. I was following up on the mix tag that I posted last couple weeks, and I'm just going to get right into it, as you can see. um, so, the last post I was talking about the word mulatto, and I actually was having a talk with my mom a couple weeks ago after she had watched my first post, and she brought up a good point, and I never really realized that in the U.S. that term actually was offensive. So I kind of did some research on Wikipedia to see, what it was talking about. So, and actually, Wikipedia was saying that mulatto actually means half donkey and half mule. So that's where they got the word mulatto. So it's like a half breed. And so back in the 60s, that was very offensive because it was calling somebody half breed, and that was very offensive during that time. So, and particularly in that era, and sometimes even now in the U.S., that term is deemed offensive. But in Spanish, it's not so much offensive. It's not really that bad at all. And in fact, it's actually only used. It's really used to refer to somebody who has a parent of African descent and a parent, or excuse me, I should say, a black parent and then one that's European descent. So, I mean, it's used in Spain, in Latin America, and even the Caribbean. So it's very popular, and it's not seen as anything offensive in Spanish. So, yeah, it was very interesting to learn that. And sorry, Mom, if I offended you. Did not mean to do that at all. Um, so that kind of gets me back into my next point. Um, talking about ancestry and having one parent be African American and one parent being mixed as well, multiracial as well. Um, it kind of sparked me to want to know more about who I am as a person. So I was watching some posts about ancestry tag. They had an ancestry tag about going to ancestry.com or 23andme.com to find out their roots and to find out their roots and what they were mixed with and the percentages and all that. So it was very interesting because that had me thinking, like, maybe I can find out my dad's side, like where most of his people came from, and that'd be very, very interesting to do. So in the next couple of weeks, that's what I plan to do, is to actually go and figure out sorry, it's next couple of weeks to a month, I will be going to figure out, what my DNA is made of, and how much of percentages of African, and exactly what country. I would like to narrow it down because that's something I'd love to give my kids, my future family, so that they have the knowledge of where they came from. That's very, very special to me. So, and that kind of ties into my last point. Um, Being brown skin and those who have darker skin, sometimes, well, a lot of times I should say, actually, the media doesn't portray us as, beautiful. And I really, really don't think that that's true. Like, I was teaching somebody, tutoring somebody in Spanish the other day, and we had this conversation where she was talking about, we were talking about describing each other, people's appearances, and every person that was describing themselves that was from Spain was saying that that the beautiful quality was having blonde hair and blue eye, and most of the people that were in that discussion panel were actually had darker hair, and they were, of course, Caucasian, European descent, so they had darker hair, and it was just funny to see how much of this image of a blonde hair, blue eye has really infiltrated the whole country, like, even the whole globe. And honestly, blonde hair and blue eye is not everything. I mean, God made everybody a different color for a reason. I mean, it'd be pretty boring if we all looked the same. I mean, to me, that's just what I think. It'd be pretty boring if everybody had blonde hair and blue eyes. I like my variety, I really do. So that just got me to thinking, it's like, just as a people, as women in general, I should say, it's very, very, I noticed that it's harder for us, for darker skinned people, for brown skin, and even darker skinned people, to realize, that, hey, I'm beautiful. And that's what really touched, that's the message I wanted to kind of portray today, is that yes, you are beautiful. I mean, the media may have its idea of beauty, but you are beautiful because why? Because Jehovah God made you, and that's why you're beautiful. And I was having a discussion with my friend, and we were talking about the subject about self-love. It's just really sad that many women of color don't see themselves as beautiful because they don't see themselves in media, and they can't they can't fathom the idea that yes, they are beautiful as well. But the truth is yes, you are beautiful. And in fact, I think that the self-love that I was talking about, it's all about educating yourself to learn to get to know yourself and to make sure you can get yourself to a higher place so that you can accept who you are inside. Because, like I said, Jehovah God created you. He already thought you were beautiful. That's why He created you. He loves you, and there's no reason why you should let anyone tell you that you're not, that you're less. You're not. You are worth it, and you're worth the time to investing in yourself to get to know yourself better. You have the talent, and it's just a matter of putting in the time so that you can love yourself. Because honestly, if you can't love yourself, nobody else can. They don't know. They won't be able to ever give you that love that you're missing. So that's my message: is women of color, especially brown skinned women like me and darker skin, love yourself. I saw this one lady. I was going to occupational therapy because I had an accident about a year ago, and I'm still kind of recovering from it. And I had to go to occupational therapy. Long story short, I'll spare you all the details, but long story short is that the woman, she was probably the color of my hair. She was beautifully dark skinned, and I just looked at her. I was like, oh my gosh, this woman could be a model. Like, she was gorgeous. And I told her that. I was like, you are gorgeous. And unfortunately, darker skinned women don't. I've heard that they don't get the appreciation and love that they deserve. But she was gorgeous. I mean, brown skin, darker skin is beautiful. It's all shades that God created. So, women, please love yourself. And that's my message for today. And hopefully, if you enjoyed these words, please go ahead and share it and like this video, and please put any comments that you have on the bottom, and please be respectful again, as always, as we're all humans. But again, please, if you like this video, please share this, and remember, love yourself.